There we go. Thanks, David, very much. Well, good morning, everyone, and appreciate your patience. Welcome, and we will call to order the regular meeting of the Lawrence County Board of Commissioners. Today is Tuesday, May 27 of 2025. Appreciate you all being here. I want to note for the record the meeting is being live streamed and also recorded. Also, if you have any type of an electronic communication device, if you please put it on silent or vibrate. We appreciate that courtesy. We always begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we'd ask you to remain standing for a brief moment of silence. So, Commissioner Kennedy, could you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. We'll have a moment of silence. Thank you. Vanessa, could you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Sinata?
Here.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Here.
Commissioner Vogler?
Here. We do have a quorum. Couple housekeeping items. I hope everybody got an agenda to look at. They're on the desk there if you'd like one. We set aside time during these meetings for public comment. Two opportunities for public comment, one in just a few moments and then one right before we adjourn. And you're welcome to speak both times. If you just want to speak once, that's fine. Or if you're just here to listen, that's also fine. We do ask that your comments be related to county government matters. If you have an issue with the state government, we suggest you talk to your state legislators. The same would be true at the federal level. And if it's a local municipal issue, we would refer you to your city, borough, or township. But if it's a county matter, then you've come to the right place. We will also ask if you do have comments to try to limit your time to about 5 minutes or so. We'd appreciate you doing that. On the agenda each week, we do set aside time for row officer reports in case any of our elected officials have anything to bring to us, but this morning none of them are here. So, and they're not obligated to be here either. That takes us to public comment. If you have something to say at this point, we'll recognize you. If you can state your name for the record, and we'll listen to what you have to say. Maggie?
Am I the only public?
Well, we got a couple others. I saw your hand go up first.
My name is Maggie Miller. I'm actually from Mercer County, and I don't know, should have been at a township meeting instead. My concern is with the Savannah Cemetery. My parents are buried there. There are a lot of veterans buried there. I was out there last week. The grass was almost up to my hips. It was up to my thighs. I made a post on social media. A lot of volunteers come out, took care of it. The problem is I can't find out who is either the owner or group of owners that own that. I had called and talked to Danny on the phone. Dan on the phone. I went to high school with Danny. And he put me through to someone, and the only thing they could find was a deed from 1862. The volunteers did mow it. Somebody told me this happens every year. Somebody pitches a fit, it gets mowed, and then it's forgot about. Well, I don't want to forget about it. Our veterans deserve better than that. When you looked across the field, you could see 1 inch of the veterans' flags. That's how high the grass was. There's garbage over a hill in the back of the cemetery that goes down to a creek. I picked up last year, not this year, 3 30-gallon bags, big black garbage bags of garbage that was just thrown on the property. I looked for a dumpster, anything to put it in. There was nothing. There was 2 like 25-gallon drums sitting along the driveway that were overflowing full. You couldn't put anything in them if you wanted to. I've also have a concern because I paid for perpetual care. A lot of people say nobody has proof, including me, because it was in 96 or 97. I called my bank, the check, they can only go back 12 years. So I have no proof of this, but I know I paid it. Other people some say they pay it monthly. I've asked them to come, apparently nobody did. Some have paid it a one-time fee like I did, some pay it annually, but it's not being done. Nobody's caring for it. I spoke to the gentleman who everybody told me takes care of it. His father used to, he has passed away. The son told me him and his father have never ever been paid. So I don't know where that perpetual care money went. There was a Mrs. Shope in the 80s, she donated all this money. She had fundraisers, everything. I spoke to her son who actually lives in Sweden. And he told me that it either went to one of the local banks in town or one of the funeral directors. He didn't know which because it was his grandmother. Nobody knows nothing about where that money went. And then I was told also that I can't raise funds or money if there is existing money. Because I was hoping to do something that we could pay somebody to go mow on a regular basis there. So I don't know where to go. Who do I find these things out from?
Well, and I appreciate that you came here today, Maggie, and you mentioned you reside now in Mercer County.
I do live in Mercer County.
For the
Yes.
record, Maggie grew up in Lawrence County.
I did.
We attended school together. And I have a couple thoughts, and I'll turn it over to my fellow commissioners in just a moment. First, I should note that we've had in the past other concerns brought to us about conditions of certain cemeteries throughout the county. And we've asked our solicitor, our county attorney, to look into what authority the state gives the county as it relates to cemeteries. And essentially, there is none. We don't have the legal authority, let's say, to go in and address grass cutting or the resetting of stones or the picking up of limbs or debris or what have you. The county is not given that authority by the Commonwealth. I will say there's one exception to that, and that is the cemetery that the county actually owns, which is in Shenango Township, which is where your cemetery is, but this is also in Shenango Township. The former Hillview Manor, which was the county home, when that building and grounds were sold, the county maintained ownership of the cemetery. So consequently, we do maintain that cemetery. That's the only one that we own and maintain. We've had to tell other folks, sadly, that by law, we're not able to, as a county, take over the maintenance of any cemetery other than the one we own. It's our understanding that the second-class township code does have language in it. I'm going to refer to Commissioner Kennedy because he's a former township supervisor. I am as well, but he's more current. That there is some language in the township code as it relates to what responsibilities a township may or may not have as it relates to cemeteries. As far as maybe some other people you could talk to, the first person that comes to my mind, and he's also, by the way, a Mohawk graduate, so there's something in common, Andrew Henley, Henley. And it's interesting because the folks in the library are here, so you know very well who I'm speaking of. Andrew's the executive director of the Newcastle Public Library. He's also very active in the Lawrence County Historical Society. I'm sure if you made an appointment to see Andrew down at the library, he would do all that he can to help you. He's passionate about these things. I remember probably 8 or 9 or 10 years ago, he was instrumental in getting some cleanup work done at 2 cemeteries out in Mahoning Township in the Hillsville area. I believe a Baptist and a Methodist, one across the road from the other. So I would recommend you talk to Andrew. You may want to consult with the Shenango Township supervisors or their township secretary, Al Burek. they may be able to check with their township solicitor to see what, if any, authority they may or may not have as it relates to that cemetery. That being said, I know Mr. Kennedy was involved just recently with working with a scout troop that cleaned up a cemetery in Wilmington Township. But you may have some more knowledge about what the township code has to say. If you don't mind, I'll turn it over to you.
That cemetery in Wilmington Township was turned over to the township when they're abandoned. That's usually what happens.
Is that the one Bob, can't think of his last name. He's the township supervisor in Wilmington. Bob,
There's Brian Swisher, there's John
Zener?
Zaner, and Darren Eller up there.
This would be Wilmington Township, Lawrence County, not
not
Wilmington,
Mercer
Mercer.
Challenge,
Yeah,
sorry.
you're thinking of a Mercer. Yeah, I knew you were talking about Bob. When they
Sorry, Greg.
abandoned them, and that church abandoned them, because we thought that was gonna happen to the Presbyterian church out on 168 in Wilmington Township, but they ended up getting a committee and put together, they're still taking over that. But when the church dissolves, and I don't know what happened to this church.
This had nothing to do with the church. The church was never a part of it,
It wasn't.
never.
So you don't know who owned it. I would go to Shenango's supervisors, either Brian Rischel or Brandon Rischel or Al Burek. Them two ought to be able to help you somehow, find out.
Okay, Bob Bruce bought the other half. The cemetery's on two sides of the road. Bob Bruce bought the side that his parents were buried on because he was just appalled at the way it was kept. And he pays somebody weekly to come in and do it. Who did Bob buy the cemetery from? That's what I need a person that I can get in contact with. How do I find that out?
Did you contact Bob Bruce at all?
No, I haven't.
That's what probably my first thing. to find
Yeah,
out.
Bob's, I'd say semi-retired now. His son, he has three sons, Jonathan, Jay, and Justin, that all work at Bruce and Marilee's. And you might put a call into one of the sons.
Okay.
They're all very nice young men and very community oriented, and they might be able to assist you.
Because I figure if I can find out who Bob bought it from, there's my owner because he had to pay somebody.
Yeah, if you get the phone number for Bruce and Marilee's out, again, in Shenango Township, try to reach out to, actually, you know what? I have Jonathan Bruce's email address upstairs. Are you able to stay?
Yeah,
Okay, because when the meeting's over, I can get you Jonathan's email address.
that'd be great, thank you.
I cut you off, I'm sorry.
No, that's it. That's all I really had.
I one more question, the garbage going over the hill, there's a creek down there, I'm sure the EPA would be all like, I'm not going into it that far, but I'm just saying, that really needs cleaned up bad.
I would start by notifying the township. And you might also want to talk, there's a gentleman that actually works for the county in our recycling and solid waste office. His name is Jerry Sona, C-O-N-A. And I can give you Jerry's phone number, I got it right here. I think Jerry's on vacation this week. But maybe next week you could give Jerry a call. He's also active in a group called PA Cleanways. It undertakes, as the name implies, they go out and clean up where there's a lot of litter and garbage. Let's see. Jerry can be reached at 724-658-6926. And again, I'm guessing he'll be back next Monday.
No problem.
So, I need to call on my third colleague, Mr. Sonata. Chris, do you have any comments?
No, I think that Commissioner Vogler and Commissioner Kennedy was pretty concise. I would recommend talking to Jonathan. One of them was with the good kids. I think their community, but they would know. They could just call along and find out who did he buy it from. That would probably get the answer you're looking for, who owns it.
Like I said, yes, our families deserve much better, but our veterans deserve more than they're getting out there, and not just
really bothers me.
Joe Vanasco is our county administrator. Joe?
Maggie, if you go onto the county website, Lawrence County, our website, you will see a drop tab about the middle of the page that says online services. If you click on online services, it'll take you to a portal that shows every piece of property, who owns it, what the sale price was, and when it was last sold.
So it was that easy all along?
Yes.
For 2 weeks, I have been researching and driving myself
When the
crazy.
meeting's over, you come upstairs with us, we'll help you navigate.
Thank you. 2 weeks, I have worked non-stop on this.
Yeah, it's on the website, so you should be able to find it. And we can help you along with it.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, thanks, Maggie, and if you don't mind, we'll get through our meeting and then
Go right ahead.
we can head upstairs.
Go right ahead.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Maggie. Next, please.
I'm Carissa Neary, and this is Isabel Daniels. We're from the Newcastle Public Library. We just wanted to thank you all for your continuous support of the library. We recently sent over Vanessa quite an armful of letters of support requests for applications to the digital connectivity program for 50 laptops for the Lawrence County Federated System, a Greenways Trails and Recreation Program for the Lawrence County Federated System again, in the case where we're looking to place a book locker in the Shenango Township Community Park. And then probably this afternoon, there will be a third for the Greenways Trails and Recreation Program for the library schools in working in renovating and correcting helping with the renovations to Cascade Park's Carousel Building. So we just wanted to take a moment to thank you all this morning for your support.
Well, you're most welcome, and I think now Mr. Kennedy was out of town last week. He may have signed the one letter this morning. I don't know. I know he signed some things.
Signs much stuff.
Okay, so they may actually be upstairs.
I sent one back to them, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, when you get that third one to us, I'm sure we'll be happy to affix our signatures to it as well. But no, we're happy to help. And, you folks do wonderful work, not only the Newcastle Public Library, but you said the Federated System, which includes the Elwood City Library and the F.D. Campbell Memorial Library out in North Beaver Township. So, appreciate all that you do. Mr. Sonata, any reaction or any comments?
No, it's, you guys do a great job down there. We appreciate what you do. It benefits the whole county, and that's what we're here to help the whole county. So keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Mr. Kennedy, anything else, sir?
No, just thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate your both joining us today. Give our best to Andrew,
Oh, we will.
my good friend Chris Fabian, who I think the world of. Tell Chris we said.
We absolutely will. He just celebrated his 44th anniversary with the library.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well, I hope he's gonna stick around a while.
I think he is.
He is a gem and so helpful. I've been down there and I've overheard him on the phone helping people. He's such a helpful individual. I think the world of him. So thanks so much.
Thank you.
Other public comment at this time? Hearing none. Thank you all. We will move along under fiscal and contractual, and incidentally, all these documents we'll have available for you. And Debbie, I'll just hand this over to you as soon as the meeting ends. And we did not meet last week, so consequently, we have a long list of warrant registers, which are the lists of checks that have been cut by the controller's office, and they are dated May 12, 13, 14, 16, 19, 21, and 22 of 2025. Dan and Chris, please take the time you need to look them over. Once you've done that, I'd be happy to take a motion for us to accept these documents.
I looked them over earlier, and I made a motion, we accept the documents.
I'll second that.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any questions from either of you on the warrant registers? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata?
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa. The minutes of the May 13 meeting are in the packet. I'll note last Tuesday was election day. We did not have a public commissioners meeting that day. So gentlemen, if you take the time you need to look these minutes over, once you've done so, I could take a motion for us to adopt the minutes.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second the motion.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any questions or concerns about the minutes? Hearing none, we'll ask for a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Under written communications, there are 4 of them, although I'll notice the first 2 date back to February. And for some reason, I think we already did these, but better to do them twice than not at all. So we'll just run through them very quickly, the first 2 particularly. The first document is from Apex Engineering and Surveying out of Greensburg, Pennsylvania. This pertains to Americold Aggregates, their property in Shenango Township at, it's a quarry site at 2645 Savannah Road. And they're giving us notice that they are submitting an application to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection for a GP11 general operating permit for a portable non-road engine at this quarry site in Shenango Township. The second letter is also from Apex. This is on behalf of Americold Aggregates at the Welsh plant site located at 1508 Jockey Moore Road in Wayne Township, noting that Americold is submitting an application to the DEP for a GP3 and GP11 general operating permits for the portable facility located at this quarry site. Both of these documents are signed by Alicia Schaefer, the project manager for Apex Companies. The third document comes from Frank B. Taylor Engineering. This is on behalf of Elwood Specialty Metals, and it's their gravel laydown yard expansion at their facility located at 499 Honeybee Lane in Wilmington Township. They are applying for a post-construction stormwater management plan and an erosion and sediment control plan associated with this project. So they're going to go before the DEP on this particular matter. I'm going to stop right there because this is where Mr. Kennedy was a township supervisor, Wilmington Township. Any concerns or comments on
No,
this?
that's just another expansion by the Elwood Specialty Metals. I know exactly what you're doing. It's good.
Good, thank you, Dan. And then the last letter is also from Frank B. Taylor Engineering, and incidentally, that prior letter was signed by Levi Fiesel, as is this next letter. This next and last letter is notifying that Mr. Richard L. Jones, who resides at 173 Grange Hall Road in Scott Township, is applying for a National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System general permit for discharges from small flow treatment facilities, and also for a water quality management general permit. The purpose is that this is a single residence sewage treatment plant to replace a malfunctioning septic system at the property at 139 Grange Hall Road in Scott Township. Those are the letters we've received, gentlemen. Would you care to make a motion for us to accept them?
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second.
Thank you. Chris, any concerns? No. Dan? Okay, we'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Commissioner reports and comments, and I get to go first today. I'll note, as noted earlier, our last meeting was held on May 13. All 3 of us have been very busy, including we attended the grand opening of Jersey Mike's Subs in Union Township. Happy to see that expansion out there. We attended the monthly meeting of the Lawrence County Planning Commission, which was held on the 14th at the Wellington Township Municipal Building. We had a good meeting with the new representative for U.S. Senator McCormick. This gentleman's name is Sam DeMarco, and he resides in Allegheny County, but he has a territory, say 13 or 15 counties, at least 13.
Yeah.
And but he came up to meet with us, and then we also had a productive meeting with Laura Sahinki from Governor Shapiro's Pittsburgh office. She came up to chat with us. Last week, Mr. Sonata and I attended a meeting at the confluence of it was put on by Dawn Enterprises, Dawn Services, excuse me. And this involved the Pennsylvania Downtown Center project. Last week was election day. We serve as the Board of Elections. I can tell you the election ran very smoothly. And we were completed by 11 o'clock that night. And we thank everybody for all the hard work that went into a successful election process. And then finally, over the weekend, we kind of all went different directions as it relates to Memorial Day ceremonies. On Saturday, Commissioner Sonata and I attended the one in village of New Bedford out in Pulaski Township. And at the very same time, Mr. Kennedy was at the ceremony here in downtown Newcastle. And then yesterday, Mr. Kennedy and I were at the one in Elwood City Borough. Mr. Kennedy walked in the parade, and we both attended the ceremony. And then at the same time, you were in Mahoning Town here in the city. So we did have a busy, but the weather was nice, I'll say that. So that's what I have this morning. And let's see, Mr. Kennedy, you're next.
I don't have a whole lot. I was gone all last week until Friday night, but I got back with the Newcastle's Memorial Day ceremony, along with Jesse, our Veterans Affairs office. And then I went to Elwood yesterday, and yeah, Brad Ovio, my good friend, and I walked the route, ran into Dan at the end, and sat through the ceremony. People of Elwood, they're just a different breed down there. That's all I can say. They come out and support everything that goes on down there. The parade route was lined with people, and it just looked like good old-fashioned Memorial Day celebration. That's about all I got.
It was a nice day.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Program was very well organized. New Bedford's was as well. They had a nice turnout in New Bedford. Thank you, Dan. Chris?
I'll just follow up on my two colleagues. Yes, I had that opportunity. Talk about New Bedford. I've been doing that for about 30 years. It's just great to see the community of New Bedford and Pulaski Township come out. And, you get the Wellington Band. And it's just a huge crowd every year. It's good to see that. It's an old-fashioned, it's, I think, the longest-serving continuous Memorial Day service in the state, if not the country. It's 129 years. So that is, that's something. I also had an opportunity to go back to Pulaski Township on Sunday for Dr. Luke Grill. He has a special service every year at the monument right in Pulaski. And he had a nice little turnout, and they had horses, and it was a very nice event for Dr. Grill. And Mahoning Town was yesterday that I got the chance to go, and I speak there every year, read General Logan's address. So I wish I could have made it to Elwood, but they were at the exact same time. So that makes it difficult. But I think with all of us, we have to spread it out more than once. So it gives us that opportunity. So I got a chance to do that as well. I think, again, I don't know if you mentioned it, we also, we went up to Mercer County for Greg Organ. He was honored by both the Lawrence County and the Mercer County commissioners. That was about 2 weeks ago. So that was a great event. I thought that we went to the commissioners meeting up in Mercer County, and we made a joint presentation. We both made proclamations for him. And he's done how many years, Dan?
Oh my, is it close to 40?
40 years.
Yeah.
Job, and I know you've been on that board for many, many years. And you spoke eloquently about him. And I've known him a little while, but not like you. And it was an honor, really deserved. So the three of us had that opportunity to do that. So that's pretty much all I have.
Thanks, Chris, very much. We'll move on to new business, and Kathy Fresnor is with us this morning. Kathy, well, they moved the table up. You know what, you're fine right there. Usually that table's back a little bit. Vanessa, we're okay, aren't we? We can pick up, we'll be able to pick up Kathy on the mic? Okay, yeah, normally it's a little further back. But anyway, Kathy is with us from Lawrence County Social Services. And you've got two proposals for us. What's the number of the first one, Vanessa?
101.
Number 101, and this involves an agreement for the homeless assistance program. So Kathy, I'll turn it over to you so you can give us all the specifics.
Sure. I'm not quiet, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me. The homeless assistance program, first of all, I'm jumping the gun on some of this stuff because these are next year's fiscal contracts. So these contracts would run July 1 through June 30th, just trying to get some items in order and out of the way prior to next year. The homeless assistance program has been flat funded, actually every year up until last year when we had a small increase of about $30,000, and we expect that to carry over this year from everything we've heard from DHS and then the proposed state budget. The resolutions are written in a way that if those numbers change at all, that the contract can still carry forward. That program provides several staff who work with people in our community in Lawrence County who are either homeless, residing in a shelter on the street in places not meant for human habitation, or facing eviction. So it does a small bit of rental assistance. We can sometimes stop an eviction or do a first month's rent or whatnot to get someone housed. But then, in my opinion, the most important piece of that is those case managers who are actually working with someone to identify what led them to that situation and how do we avoid it in the future. So that is the homeless assistance program.
Okay, this is resolution 101. I'll start with Commissioner Kennedy to see if he has any questions. Okay, thank you, Dan. Mr. Sonata?
Those were very thorough, as usual.
Well, and I have no questions either, so why don't we see if I can get a motion on this, please?
I'll make the motion.
And I'll second.
Thank you, gentlemen. If there are no other questions, we'll take a roll call on 101, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you, Vanessa. And then resolution 102, this involves the Human Services Development Fund, and I'll let you, before you start, we checking our computer to see if something popped up on the screen.
That's always a
Okay, thanks, David. We just weren't quite sure what that was. And thanks to Joe for catching it. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, Kathy, we'll go back to proposed resolution 102. This is the Human Services Development Fund.
Yeah, so I'll shorten that and call it HSDF. That program, again, this would be a contract looking for July 1 through June 30th next fiscal year. This program does a lot of odds and ends around the community. So we have a small contracts that go to Children's Advocacy Center, and they do like their Parents as Teachers program. We have a small contract that goes to the LCARC that does life skills education for people that are in their group homes. We do keep a small bit in-house, also do primarily employment and education services. It helps support our GED work. It helps us do resumes, soft skills, networking, interviewing skills, all kinds of different things with people who are job seeking. It's a little bit of money, but it kind of gets stretched a lot of different ways to fill in some needs in the community.
Thank you for that background information. That's most helpful. Mr. Sonata, do you have questions for Kat?
No.
Mr. Kennedy? Okay. Well, gentlemen, would one of you wish to make a motion for this resolution?
I'll make a motion for resolution 102.
And I'll second the motion.
Thank you both. If there are no other concerns, we'll ask for a roll call.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes?
motion carries.
Thank you. Well, Kathy, it's always nice to have you come up, and We appreciate all the information you've shared. You're welcome to stick around, but if you have to head back down the street, we understand.
Thank you so much.
Great to see you.
See you all too.
Bye-bye now.
You're welcome.
We have two, forgive me, Scott, did you need us today?
No, I was just here to support Kathy.
Funding.
Oh, okay.
The funding for one of the programs
Okay.
comes through.
Okay, that's great.
The other thing I would say, there's no dollar amount yet because there's no state budget. So once those dollars are here, they go right to Kathy.
You probably want to catch her, don't you?
Yeah, that's, yeah.
She's halfway up the
Yeah,
step.
thank you guys.
Okay, thanks, Scott. We're not in trouble with Scott, so now. Transfers. The first is from the jail. They're asking for a $7,000 transfer from their contingency into the gas line item. I'm assuming this is natural gas for heating?
It is, and the reason for the transfer is we had they have 3 large hot water tanks. 2 of them were not functioning properly during the time prior to replacement. They used more gas.
Okay. Thank you. Dan, any questions on this first one?
Joe answered it.
Okay, Chris, you okay on this first one?
That's fine.
Okay, the second one comes from Judge Cartwright down in the Elwood City area. They are asking for a transfer of $289.90 coming from their contingency into that of their materials and supplies line item. Any questions, gentlemen? If not, would one of you wish to make a motion to approve both of these transfer requests?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you, and we'll ask for a roll call.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Drops us down to announcements. We'll note that the commissioners will convene 1 week from today on Tuesday, June 3 at 10 o'clock in this room. Also next Tuesday, following the commissioners' meeting, we'll have our quarterly meeting of the retirement board. That's open to the public. Are you able to announce about prison board? Has that been set up yet, or are you still working on that?
We're working on it.
Okay.
As soon as I can talk to Vanessa to get the legal ad in paper.
Okay.
I mean, I couldn't.
I didn't mean to put you on the
No, that's
spot.
fine. We are scheduled, we're going to be scheduling a prison board meeting on Wednesday at 10 a.m.
Thursday?
I'm sorry, I'm a day off, I think, that's not, yeah. Thursday at 10 a.m.
So tentatively,
It's tentatively, just to deal with the hiring of a captain at the jail. So the board has to make that move, so that's what we'll be doing. As soon as I have not even mentioned it to Vanessa because she was down here when the request was made, so that's in the tentative works at this point.
thank you.
Should be more than tentative as soon as we can get that in the newspaper tomorrow.
Again, I didn't mean to catch.
No, that's okay.
Didn't mean to catch you off guard.
Yes, this all happened within the hour, so
So it's still being worked on.
it's being worked on.
Sure. Thanks so much. I do want, it's not on here, but I do want to make note that in the month of June, there is a federal holiday that we adhere to, and that will be on June 19, which is a Thursday. That is the Juneteenth holiday. So the courthouse will be closed on Thursday, June 19th. I also will note that within the last week or so, we received notification of a resignation from our redevelopment authority board, Mr. Robert Donadio, who resides in Neshannock Township and who has been a member of that board for quite some time. In fact, he chaired the board for a period of time. A retired banker, I believe his background was in banking. He brought a lot to the table, but he did submit his resignation from the board to us. That creates a vacancy on the 5-member board. I'll note that it's a volunteer position, he does not pay, but since it's an authority, we are governed by an ordinance that requires us to do the following. We have to announce at 2 public meetings that there is a vacancy. So this is the first of 2 announcements that this vacancy exists. we'll have to repeat this announcement next Tuesday. Anyone interested in serving on the redevelopment authority can do one of two things. They can either correspond with us in writing a letter or an email, or they can come to a public meeting and express their interest in serving on the redevelopment authority. Once we have a list of potential of applicants, one of the things we're required to do by way of this ordinance is we have to do a criminal background check. This applies for any authority member that we're responsible for appointing. So we've noted the resignation. We've announced the opening today. We will announce the opening next Tuesday. And then based upon who all responds to this opening and submits letters of interest, then we'll take the next step and probably in a few weeks vote to appoint someone to replace Mr. Donadio. But I'm sure I speak for my colleagues in thanking Robert for his many years of service on that board. He brought a lot to the table. Public comments. Are there, Debbie?
How many years is that term?
Well, it's to fill an unexpired, it'll be to fill an unexpired term, so we'll have to
I
check.
have to check and see when his term.
Can we'll get that information to you. So he's in the middle of his term, and I'm not sure, are they 5-year terms,
They are.
Vanessa?
Mhm.
So we know that much, they're 5-year terms, but I'm not sure how far along he is, but we can find that out. Any other public comments? Maggie, thanks for sticking around. We'll
No, that's
go
fine.
upstairs and get you some information.
I appreciate it, believe me.
Closing comments from my fellow commissioners. Mr. Kennedy.
No.
Thank you, sir. And Mr. Sanada.
I have nothing as well.
Thank you both. Vanessa and Joe, are we up to speed, do you think?
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you both for all the work you do putting this together. And I will note that when we adjourn, the computer will still be on for a few minutes. Joe knows how to turn it off. But with no other business to be brought before the board, could I please have an adjournment motion?
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye, opposed, same sign. Motion carries. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Do you go to Slippery Rock?
I just graduated.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
A degree in journalism?
English writing, so essentially, yes.
Good for you. That's fantastic. Well, you're